Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Sloppy World podcast. I'm your host, Master Walrus 9. I'm here. Oh, man. I can't talk today. I am greeted by my two guests. First off, we have returner from last week's episode, Wubzie. Would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
No, I think I'm good. I'm
Uh,
just kidding. Uh, let's see. Uh, yeah, I mean, I introduced myself last episode. I don't really have too much to say.
yeah, that's pretty fair. And
Cool,
we
cool,
have
cool.
a new guest today, Ax Mokuba. Would you like to
Yeah, I'm
introduce
Max
yourself?
Mokuba. Yeah, I got it. I got it. I'm Max Mokuba. I'm a white mage stuck in a stump. I do a little bit of VTubing here and there, but as of recently, I started working. So, um, the hours have been a little weird, but I'll get back into it. No worries. One of these days.
Yeah. That's how it
Yeah.
feels. I used to do a little bit of I haven't been live streaming as of late, but I got into a job that's been
Hmm.
pretty heavy in terms
Oh
of
man.
commitment.
No, of course,
Uh
of course. For me, I had to go through a bit of schooling for well, what I got hired for. My white mage duties. I became a CNA, like a certified nursing assistant.
oh, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, man, yeah. And so I uh I did a month and a half of post schooling in like the clinical hours, and then almost immediately got hired at the place I was doing my clinical hours at. So
That's wicked.
uh,
We got
honestly, it really has been.
uh
Yeah, yeah.
I teach at a school and I definitely see a lot of students go into CNA.
Mm-hmm.
We have a program called vocational and tech schools
Oh yeah,
where
yeah.
students can go in and essentially get some practical training in a lot of different careers. So, I mean, there's quite a few that go get like their commercial driver's license, quite a few that go and get,
Like plumbing, electric, HVAC, a whole bunch of
yeah.
stuff, when it comes to, trade jobs. I remember, like, right after high school, I looked into them, but then, like, Moku dad, my parents and stuff like that. No, 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 you gotta get a good job. You gotta go through, like, the classical university route, all this and that. I was like, "This is
Hmm.
not for me."
No, I feel that.
Yeah.
That's one of the big
Mhm.
points I try and make with all of my students is that what works for me is not going to work for you. Uh,
Exactly. Mm.
Ultimately, I just want you guys to do something in your lives to like. I say not being a loser. I know
Mm.
that term could be meaning in different ways, but the way I often say it is that once you get out of high school, you got to do something. You go into workforce, awesome. You go get an education, great. You go get uh, a military experience, go into the army. If that's what you
Mhm.
want to do, you go for it. Just do something.
Exactly, exactly. Don't just be a bum in your parents' place, which I have been doing for like this past year, but I did something with my life and I'm making moves, making things happen. So
Exactly. That's great.
yeah.
Uh,
But
yeah. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
feel like that's the hard part though, like as a high schooler, you think you could take on the world, but you haven't really experienced much of anything usually. So
Mm-hmm.
um at least on my part, for I didn't really get to know much about the world, what's really out there, so I kinda just, went all over the place right after high school. I did start with community college, but after that, I was like, This is not for me," and then started working all over the place. I went from working at an amusement park to working in the redwood forest, and then
Mm-hmm.
working within the, wildlife firefighting and whatnot, and it a lot of people I got to meet throughout the years, and a lot of experiences to be had, and it was a wild ride, but ultimately I ended up in the medical field, just
Yeah.
trying to help people out, and I'm enjoying it, I'm enjoying it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Mhm.
Bubs, you want to tell us a little bit about your job? I think we mentioned it a little bit, just kind of like what you do or the general range of like what you interact with.
Oh yeah, I work with planes. I work with
Oh.
planes. I'm a supervisor and trainer at an airport, so I do all that good stuff. Train people, supervise, interview, audit. I'm pretty much right below the general manager of the airport, so there's a lot of responsibilities and stuff that comes with that.
Yeah, but
Mm.
that's sick. One of the things you were
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
constantly telling me about is how you're always taking trips, and I think that's interesting.
Oh yeah, we my girlfriend and I just came back from Tokyo not too long ago, and
Uh,
then we Hell went to Rome before that and London. and all kinds of cool stuff.
Well, there
And
you go. You're exploring the world, man. Not bad, not bad.
Yeah, I love it. It's my
Mm,
favorite thing to do. Just
sweet.
explore.
no, there's a lot of great
Mhm.
things about that. I think that you definitely develop a higher sense of culture in experiencing those things, which is it's nice. It's great.
Oh, absolutely. You get to see in not just through documentaries and through books and everything, but firsthand, you know? So
Hmm.
it's not that bad, not that bad. Uh, one day I'll go travel myself once I leave my stump.
Yeah. I'll say
Yeah.
one of the interesting things about this conversation in the previous episodes I've done so far, I had
Mhm.
interacted with most people for a solid amount.
Yeah.
But this is actually my first time having a full on conversation with Mokuba, which I
Yeah,
find,
yeah. We share a mutual friend, Sir Shabby, shout outs to him.
yeah,
But yeah, I haven't I'm kind of more of a lurker. I'll post a meme every so often in Shabby server, but I do know you guys are pretty close friends, and so
yeah,
um yeah, yeah.
I known him.
Well, I
No, go
but
good.
I knew you had like your little like your podcast and stuff like that. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. And then you shoot me a DM. It's like, hey, want to join? It's like, oh, nice. Yeah, let's go. Do it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I known
Yeah.
Shabby since like I don't know 2016 to 2018, like when I was in high
Mm.
school. But kind of the idea with the podcast is I'd like to interact with new people more and get people to interact with new people as well.
No, of course, of course. That's always a good way to do it. Yeah.
Now,
Uh,
yeah. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, kind of just jumping into things, just like, hey, like let's chit chat for a bit, you know. So
Yeah.
it's always nice. It's always nice.
Now, Mokuba, do you game at all?
From time to time, yeah, as of lately, I've been playing some solo games, like old school, what was it? How do I say this? Old school inspired 3D platformers. So, I grew up with, Ratchet& and Clank, I grew up with,
Hmm.
like, the Lego games and such,
Oh,
and
I
so
love the Lego games.
oh, but they're great, they're great. But, as of recently, I found out about this game called Pumpkin Jack. Really cool game. It was just, think of it like a just a scarecrow with the pumpkin head, and then he's just, like, going to this, like, spooky world, and it's pretty cheesy, pretty fun, but, like, it really brings back that, like, nostalgic feeling, you know? And so it's really nice.
Dude,
But
I
apart from that, I mean, a bit of Minecraft here and there, just,
mhm,
whenever I could find the time, but yeah,
dude,
that's about it.
I played
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of PlayStation 2 growing up. Like, arguably, my two
Mhm.
biggest consoles was the Nintendo DS, with a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah.
Game Boy Advance games and whatnot, as well as a lot of PlayStation 2. And
Yeah, yeah.
arguably, one of my biggest disappointments in life came from playing the Bionicle game for PlayStation 2.
Was it really that bad?
It
Oh,
was
man.
so bad. Like,
Oh,
I loved Bionicles. They were crazy, they were cool, all those fun stuff. And then I
of
see it,
course, of course.
and bam, it sucks ass. I couldn't even get through the first level, man. That's how bad it was.
It just didn't live up to the actual figures.
No, exactly.
Man, that's rough.
But I did play a
Mm.
lot of that stuff. Crash Bandicoot was a big one
Oh,
that we
yeah, yeah,
played.
not too long ago, I got the anniversary pack that they had a while back. Same
Yeah.
with Spyro. I got the anniversary pack for Spyro as well. A lot of cool stuff. Yeah.
I never
I
played
gotta
Spyro. I had a Spyro game, but I just never played it.
mhm. I played the demo of, like, the 3rd game, I think, where he was, like, on a skateboard just going on ramps and shit. It's like, what? He's a little dragon, what is he on a skateboard? But I guess it's like that early 2000s, when Tony Hawk and all these like, not esports, but extreme sports
X
are like,
Sports, yeah, that's a good way to
there
put
you
it.
go, yeah, X sports.
He's
Yep.
just that guy.
Spyro was that
True.
guy. He's got
Yeah.
I mean, he's a dragon, he's worked at Subway, he's got
He met Jared,
Let's not, yeah, let's not talk about people who worked at Subway.
right? Early 2000s Subway, Jared. Oh
Oh,
man,
That is
yeah.
crazy.
Honestly, everything. I think that came out of that the whole time period.
I remember
Yeah.
when I was going on a binge watching all the South Park episodes, right?
Mm.
And they
Yeah.
have an episode featuring Jared Fogle where it's a big joke on how he lost a lot of weight thanks to him having AIDS.
Yeah. And I remember that episode. I was like, "Yeah, I wanna give our children AIDS," you know? I was like, "Wait, hold on."
and then
Nobody yeah. The
and then I think about it, because this was way past when Jared Fogle went the path of Diddy, if you will.
Oh, true, true.
But I just kept thinking like, wow, this is this episode. I don't know if it waged well or waged poorly because kind of painting Jared in a positive light, but
Yeah.
uh,
Crazy, crazy stuff.
Wubsy, what have you been playing recently?
I haven't really been playing a whole lot. Right now, I'm playing Minecraft. Honestly, I'm playing a little
Mm,
little mod pack because my girlfriend is like, "Oh, I've been watching this. We should play that." And I'm like, "Okay." So it's what's it called? Terra Firma Greg. It's a completely weird name, but it's kind of like two things mixed into one. It's not bad. Something to do, you know.
yeah. Speaking of
But
Minecraft, oh, go ahead, go ahead.
oh no, no, I'm just saying. But personally, I don't play like a whole lot of video games very often unless it's like with friends or something because it's
Yeah,
just I don't know. It's just how I am.
yeah.
Mhm. I feel it.
Speaking of Minecraft, Minecraft Live was actually yesterday. Did you guys see that at all?
Nah, I missed it.
You're not missing much in the video. They kind of did like a little bit of a recap of the I think they called it Spring to Life content drop, which is their like it has did you notice how they gave cows and chickens different climate accessories?
I saw a bit about it, but mostly through fan art actually.
Yeah,
There's this, like, really cool fan art I saw, then, I actually retweeted it, let me see. Um,
I'll pull that up if you can
but
get that, but yeah.
yeah, I got you, I got you. But yeah, by this one really cool artist, he kinda makes, more he makes, like, Minecraft mods, but, like, mobs, but, like, into more, like, realistic fantasy sort of, art style.
Mhm.
So, uh he has, like, the classic cloud, the mushrooms, but then, like, there's, like, a cow with some flowers on it, and then, like, a little cow with, like, a more classical, like, brown mushrooms rather than, the red mushrooms and
Yeah.
such. But, the one I retweeted, keeping it to the stump and woodman theme, you know? The creaking, he made a really cool creaking one,
I
which
haven't
was let me see.
I haven't played it in a minute, so I haven't played with the creaking, but it does look very interesting.
Oh, absolutely. Let's see. Here we are. Yeah, he made a, like, really cool, piece for him. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll see if I
Mhm.
can get that, but they also yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh but they've been adding what I would call like life fullness changes
Mm.
because they added climate diversity for the animals. So like if you're in a winter area, you get like a furry highlands cow. If you're in your plains area, you get the normal cow. Chickens, there's different cosmetics. I'll see if I can pull those up in a second. But
Ooh, okay, I just found him actually, going through that, like, the first post was, like, a warm, normal, and cold climates and such, like, different variations and skins for them.
yeah.
Pretty cool.
No, it's interesting. They added fireflies, they're adding sounds. They're
Mm,
adding I forgot what it was they called it, but it's like Minecraft to life. It's essentially in-game uh, shaders. Yeah, I'd say shaders in game. It's nothing crazy like the ones you see on the high end,
yeah.
but they look nice. It looks like a way to increase your status in your Minecraft world.
Mhm.
Uh
Okay, giving it more quality of life type of thing, like, you get to see more, you get to do more. Good.
yeah, no, I okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Here's that. Yeah. No, I think it's interesting. they talked a little bit about the Minecraft movie. They talked about their game plans with content drops and whatnot later on. But all in
Hmm.
all, you didn't miss much. Uh, they have a live event featuring like a Hoglin defense, like Hoglin defenses
Hmm.
and Happy Gast.
Nice, nice.
And Happy Gas is interesting because it allows flying for
Pre-Ender Dragon.
yeah, pre-Ender Dragon.
Whoa.
All you gotta do is go to the frig, what's it
All you gotta
called?
do is be that guy.
Just be that guy, yeah. But no, I think it's a great way to give Minecraft some more stuff to do, I guess. Some incentive and some life.
Hmm. Yeah, kind of keep updating the game and kind of like make it be like uh, have more to interact with it in a sense.
Yeah.
Uh,
I can see the Happy Gas coming in a lot of fans' personal favorites. I mean, again, it doesn't take any investment, like the Elytra.
hmm.
Because with the Elytra, once you get the Elytra, you have to either gotta fix it, or you gotta put like mending and get experience on it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then you gotta get the fireworks and whatnot. With the Happy Gas, once you kind of have it and you have the saddle, it's done.
Hmm.
It's not gonna be as
Just like that.
fast, but it's
It's good
cheap. It's
enough.
free.
Yeah. Not bad, not bad.
So,
Gotta try it out one of these days. Well, whenever it gets dropped, you know.
they didn't do an announcement for the Happy Gas, but the Spring to Life is 25th of March.
Oh, it's like it's coming up quick then.
Yeah,
Uh, Not bad.
but no, I've played a lot of Minecraft since I was young. I mean, one of the first games I ever bought was Minecraft on the Xbox 360.
Hmm.
I remember us being bewildered because we got it from a GameStop and there was no CD. It was just a digital download code.
Oh yeah,
They're
like
like,
when they start rolling all that the digital stuff.
yeah, we're like, what the hell
the,
is
the
this?
the move.
Yeah, and then I again got on the Kindles back before we had like cell phones and iPads. We had Kindles and we would get it on the Kindles and play on the little 400 by 400 worlds or whatever.
Yeah, the pocket editions. That's how I started first playing as well. I mean, I always watched it through YouTube, you know, Markiplier and Stampy Longhead and all this and that.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, and then I eventually like, can I get Minecraft on the phone on the little iPod and
Oh
whatnot?
my gosh. Way back when it was like
$7.
you got the trial version and you got like 45 minutes or an hour of gameplay and you just couldn't save worlds or anything on the Pocket Edition.
Yeah,
Yeah. Dude, I made a ton of roller coasters. That was my favorite thing to do. I'd go into like creative and just make theme parks.
Hmm,
Mm.
Here's a little
nice.
roller coaster, here's a little like ice slide, here's a
The pool that the bottom is completely glowstone.
yeah, or like lava or whatever, with a glass overlay.
Yeah, glass overlay. It's a hot tub right there.
I'd go and do
Yo.
like houses and interior design. They'd feel like when they added fish, I'd put the floor filled with fish.
Man,
Man,
Just as much as possible, you know. I mean, it's Minecraft. You could do as long as you can make it, you could do it.
no, exactly. That's nice.
Yeah,
Uh,
that portal.
And now, again, I haven't been on in a while, but I do like seeing what people do with redstone.
Oh yeah, it's crazy stuff what they do. Whole ass computers that can run Doom on Minecraft. You know, like how the fuck?
They built
How
Minecraft in Minecraft.
it's nuts, man. It's nuts.
I know it's awesome.
Uh,
I think that's a great way to show the tenacity of the human spirit. It's like,
mhm.
okay, I could just take a computer and get like a IDE and do some like Python or some C or some Java programming, right?
Yup.
But I don't want to. I want to do it in Minecraft with Redstone.
Of course. That's the way to do it, honestly.
So very true.
Yeah.
I took me and Wubsy actually went to college in the same place. We took a computer programming for Java. I thought
Oh,
that was a
nice.
fun course. That was definitely interesting.
That was a good course. I would have liked it better if it wasn't with that guy, but
Yeah,
not saying anything about him specifically. It's just, man, did it was it's so hard to like understand and do anything.
I know he had a was he Middle Eastern or was he Indian?
He is Indian.
Okay.
I sorry, I did not mean to say it like that.
Yeah, he's Indian. Okay. Oh, man.
No,
But
Blah
I guess
blah
the
blah.
the tough accents to pick up and try to get through a class like that, yeah, it's almost near impossible, you know?
my
Um,
mom is Middle Eastern, so I'm used to having accents like that, so I always consider myself having a heads up. My
mm,
math professor, because that's what I majored in, math, and I had majored in math and education, but mainly math. Anyways,
yeah.
he had a thick Chinese accent.
Oh, yeah, those are pretty rough to go
No,
through as well.
I loved listening to it the entire time. It was great. It was
Yeah.
like, yeah, I feel like I'm getting a good education.
Yeah. This is a good use of my time, you know?
And you got a professor from another country who's teaching you. That means
Mhm,
that I don't know. I feel like that tends to be a better level of education. But
mhm.
again, I'm no expert in that field just yet.
Got it, got it.
I used to play a lot of modded Minecraft. First thing I got when I got a laptop was absolutely make it explode by running like high end mods on like a 2015 HP laptop.
Yeah. Let's try to do like a stress streams, you know, just trying to push it to the limit.
Yeah,
Where does it crash? Where does it blow up?
I'm getting
Uh,
fucking. I'm getting. I'm overclocking on the furniture mods. But I used to play a lot of
mhm,
like the Pixelmon uh when that was big. And I managed to get through on that. Me and my brothers all got a laptop around the same time. We all played Minecraft and we all had a good time. And
nice.
I love mods because again, it's a way to make Minecraft last longer and do
Mhm,
whatever else you want to.
mhm.
Like, there's a
Whole worlds out there, you know, just to get through and mod into the games and such. It's always fun to see, always fun to do.
mhm.
It's
Yeah.
kind of like exactly what I'm doing right now.
Ooh.
Yeah, it makes every step take a gazillion times more, and I cannot tell if I like it yet or if it's just annoying.
I
It's
like
like I'm making like little holes in the ground to smelt primitive ore to make like a couple of real shitty tools, and it's like, oh my god, the progression is taking so long.
yeah,
Man.
but then
Well, some
once you
people
get oh go ahead.
yeah, some people like that type of stuff, you know, like the making things overcomplicated to make it more realistic and such. It's
Have you guys played the create mod? That's a really good mod. It's pretty much a basis for a lot of other things, but it's a very really popular mod. We should do a little playthrough sometime of something.
We should get a server or whatnot going on. Do
Aternos.
oh, yeah, I'll be down. I'll be
yeah,
down. One of these days.
do some modded craft. I've been waiting primarily because I know I want when I want to do modded craft, I'm gonna want to get into it.
Mm.
But I'm waiting on another friend for him to finish college.
I knew exactly where this was heading.
But I'm
Got
also
it, got it.
waiting until like I'm more in the summer season and I have less stuff going on.
Oh,
Mm.
okay.
That way I have more availability, I guess is a way to put it.
Hmm.
and more ways to absolutely do nothing productive with my life.
No, can't wait, dude. Oh,
I feel that. I feel that.
all of my stuff solidified. I have to fire it again.
Oh man. Mm.
Played one of the things I used to play, or I always wanted to play that I never really had an opportunity to get into, was MMORPGs.
Ooh, not the same. The only MMO I got into was like very early RuneScape and then Wizards 101.
See, I
Yeah.
never knew about RuneScape. I probably would have played that if I'd known about it. Uh,
Mm.
but I just loved the concept. I knew Wizard 101 was you had to pay to play.
Yeah, yeah.
And I know my broke ass at 7 years old did not have a credit card.
So I kinda just, like, did multiple accounts and played the free trial just, like, multiple times a week.
Yes, over and over and over again.
Yep, yep.
I used to play Toontown and Club Penguin.
Ooh, Couple Penguin as well, same, same.
It's a
And
real good one.
yeah, I actually
Mhm.
want to kind of check out Club Penguin Rewritten at some point in time. It's a fan rehosting of the original Club Penguin servers. They might need to do some updates and get some more stuff in it. But
Yeah, I heard about that, yeah.
it would are from what I experienced with Toontown Rewritten, they removed a lot of the pay to play aspects of it.
Mm,
So perhaps Club Penguin would be a better game in this instance without those pay to plays.
that's pretty sweet.
I
Yeah,
remember
but
being
I hate pay to play
models
MMOs and stuff. I mean, it's just for me, it's just so. Oh my god.
for real. I look, if that's how you want to invest your money, go ahead and do that. And if you get your money out of it, sure. I just don't see a lot of people getting their money out of it because
Exactly.
arguably the two biggest MMOs at this point in time is World of Warcraft and
yep.
Final Fantasy 14.
Oh, yeah, Final Fantasy 14 is goes pretty wild, it goes pretty hard.
And
A lot of people playing it.
looking at World of Warcraft, let's see. The best deal I'm seeing is you could buy a 6 or 12 month subscription, which is going to run you $13 a month.
Cool.
And I'm gonna see how much Final Fantasy 14 online costs. But I mean, $13 a month is a subscription.
Mhm, mhm.
But you could get like PC Game Pass or Xbox Live or whatever for cheaper than that. Get like 50 to 60 games, good games.
I mean, like HBO Max, I think is like $10 a month with ads, right? So if honestly you said I will cut one of my streaming services to play World of Warcraft, I could get that.
Hmm.
Uh,
Kinda like just the give and take type of situations, like, what's worth it, you know?
yeah,
What
exactly.
do I wanna watch stuff? Do I wanna play stuff? What am I feeling? Yeah.
Is Final Fantasy 14 online subscription based?
I'm pretty sure, like, depending
I
on I kinda like the free trial and then, like, the full game, you know, like, that type of situation as well.
Okay, I see it now. The so it's the same rate, $13 for a month, and you get
Cool.
a better deal if you or like that's the best deal if you subscribe for like 6 month period.
Mm.
So uh, $13 a month after mhm, that's like $40 after 3 months. That's
are you gonna finish the game in 5 months?
Basically.
no, because they're gonna
Uh,
unleash more DLC that you're gonna have to pay for and whatnot, and just continue with your progress. But
mhm.
there's there's a lot of pricing in that, in my opinion. I'm fairly cheap. I am fairly cheap. I don't even look at a game nowadays unless it's under 20 bucks. It's got to be something real special.
Same. The last full price game I played was, or that I bought was, Armor Core 6, but that was a couple years back now, so,
Yeah,
um,
I
you
I,
know,
shoot. What was the other FromSoft game they gave at that time? Uh
um,
Elden Ring, Elden Ring.
Elden Ring, there you go, yeah, yeah.
I loved Dark Souls 3, and I would arguably consider playing Elden Ring heavily,
Mhm.
but I'm not gonna pay 60 bucks. I love Dark Souls 3, but I'm not gonna pay 60 bucks for it.
Yeah, yeah.
And so 60
I feel
bucks
you.
for a game, or not even a game, for an online membership. I don't know. You can buy some legitimately well games at that point.
Yeah, especially with, like, Steam sales always happening, you know, even just one, what's happening last week,
Spring sale.
the
Oh, yeah,
spring sale, yeah.
spring sale, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, the spring sales, crazy, great. I
Mm.
loved them.
Yeah, yeah.
You get
I
so
picked
many
up
good stuff. Yeah, good. Sorry,
I picked up a couple games from the sale, you know? It's not that bad.
I
Yeah.
didn't because I got a ton of stuff in my backlog.
Hmm.
You know what's really good for free games? Epic.
What?
I know a lot of
Epic. Oh,
people have some
yeah.
considerations and don't use Epic and whatnot, but
Mhm.
dude, I'll log in like every week to grab the free game
Yeah,
because
yeah.
if I want to do something with it later, I have it.
Of course.
Like I think this week's was Them's Fighting Herds, which is a My Little Pony based fighting game.
Whoa.
I know, and I don't think I'll play it, but if I
Uh,
ever want to go in my fighting game arc and try it out or do some video about it, it's there. I have it.
I gotta check it out now. Let me see. Just to mess around with a couple friends, you know, I was like, "Hey, let's check out this fighting pony game," and then
Exactly.
yeah,
And then plus
I
there's
just
a ton of free to play games that are pretty good as well. Like
mm,
shoot. Again, kind of going back to modded Minecraft, yes, you have to buy like a $30 Minecraft account first, but
mm,
after
But
that, every time you get a
you could do
free
whatever you
mod,
want.
yeah, every time you
mm,
get a free mod, it's essentially a new game.
And now with that $30, you also get Bedrock. You get both if you're on PC.
Yeah.
well, not
So
bad.
I play a lot of card games, and those tend to be free to play, quote unquote. You kind of want to spend some money to get more cards to build the decks you want and whatnot, but you could
Mm,
arguably get by free to play. That's what I'm doing to Dragon Ball Super Fusion World game right now. That's what I essentially did with Pokemon.
nice, nice.
And so we're we're in a great era for video games, but we're also in a great era for not having to buy video games.
True.
As it says, me and Wubsie's comrade Dylan once said, "Games but no games," which
Games, but
he's.
no
I'm pretty
games.
sure he stole that from
Mhm.
like Jay Schlatt, right?
Yeah.
So it's like he stole from Jay Schlatt, games but no games.
Mm,
Games, but no games.
Shoot, I got Fallout New Vegas back in like 2022 or something like that on Steam sale.
mm.
Still have not opened it.
No,
It's because I just
okay.
haven't had the timing nor desire to play it. I got a
No,
ton of
I
other
feel you.
Fallout games from Epic Games for free.
Mm.
I got wait, what was it? I got the Master Chief collection as well at the same time.
Oh, nice.
Again,
Um,
haven't played it.
that's how when Fortnite started getting big and then at the Epic Game Store and all this things started happening, I was
Yeah.
like, "Okay, let me check out some of the free games they got going on." Daemon X Machina and then Niho or the what was
Yeah, yeah, Neo.
the Japanese yeah, Neo. So, those are the only 2 games, that I, well, at the same time, I don't really hang out much around the Epic Game Store, but those are the 2 free games I got, like, from the free rotations and such.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff.
There's a
Yeah.
lot of like crud. I don't want to say crud because there's a lot of solid games. There's just not a lot of games that I would consider playing myself.
Yeah.
Like the one of the free games at one point in time was the Game of Thrones board game video game.
What?
Yeah,
What the heck?
I like board games, but if I want to play a board game, I want to play a board game. That makes sense.
Yeah. Mhm.
So it's it's good. It's good. I go in, I get my free stuff, and I get out.
Yeah, I feel that.
Speaking of Game of Thrones, I was in the wrong place at the wrong time for Game of Thrones because I heard so much about how it was so good for a while.
For
But
a while, it was, like, years. I didn't get to watch it, or I still haven't seen it, personally, but, nonstop, I've heard, like, "Oh my god, the newest episode," or this and that, or, like, "How can you believe in it's not like the book," and there's so much so much that was
mhm,
going on with, Game of Thrones, and I feel like I missed out on it,
it
only
was
for it to be, like, flop at the very end.
yeah, it was a bit
Uh,
too mature
uh,
for my age when it
uh,
was coming out. So that's why I think I didn't watch it, and now there's so much that I don't know if I'm going to watch it. I mean, I have access to the streaming and whatnot, so I should.
yeah.
But no, no, it is it's interesting to see these takes on fantasy
Mm. Yeah, yeah, I mean,
because
like, medieval fantasy and kinda like otherworldly fantasies and a whole bunch of stuff like that. It's always really cool to see.
hmm
Um, lately, I've been getting really into, like, Warhammer and stuff like that, all the little
oh yeah,
miniatures and such.
like
Yeah, yeah.
40K or Warhammer.
Yeah, 40K, 40K, you
Yeah,
got it. Uh,
my I hang out at a card shop a lot at my local mall, right?
mm,
And I'd consider myself a pretty good associate of the guy who owns it. We talk a lot. And
nice,
he was
nice.
asking me if there were people he thinks in the area that would be into Warhammer.
Mhm,
Honestly said I don't know. Uh I know Warhammer is big. I know that downstate there's been a lot of people who were into Warhammer,
mm.
but our area is fairly rural. So I just don't know if we would have that Warhammer interest in person.
No, yeah, that is always tough to see to try to figure out, like, the logistics of it, like, where are all the players at?
Exactly.
It's, uh,
I
where
always
where can we get our customer base? All this and that,
I always thought it was interesting though with Warhammer. That's definitely one of the fields I wanted to get into and learn more about.
hmm.
I mean, I feel there's a lot of great opportunity now. I believe Amazon's making a Warhammer 40K show.
I'm pretty sure, yeah, what was the actor's name? He was, like,
Henry
the one
Cavill.
time like that's the guy, yeah. He was
Yeah.
kinda, like, just big on it. He's like, "Oh, that they better make it good, that, all the fans are ready for it."
hmm
Uh,
They there's a lot of great games from what I'm seeing. There's oh
yeah,
shoot. What
Space Marine and,
that's it.
uh,
Space Marine 2 just came out. Well,
and
not just came
then
out. It's Vermintide.
Vermintide as well. Yep, yep, yep. And then there was, like, a Doom version for, let's
Yeah, yeah,
see,
yeah. I remember what you're talking about.
what's it called? Warhammer, let's see. Oh, if I see it, I'll know which it is immediately. Hold on, hold on. Damn it, let me Google it instead of going through Steam. Hold on. Let's see. Warhammer Doom game? Bolt Gun, that's what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, Vault
I
Gun.
wanted
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I wanna try it out, man. It looks really sick. You got, like, a chain sword and all this and that.
hmm
All the enemies and demons and then one the chaos. Uh,
I'm surprised
yeah, I
there's
get
no direct, and I get that it prevents them from selling as much figurines and whatnot, but I'm
hmm.
surprised there's no direct port of the game that is really known or talked about. Like, I mean, like the actual tabletop. Make it easier to move your characters and keep a hold of your calculations and whatnot.
Ah, true, true. Like a dedicated game for the actual game. I get you. I get you.
They
Yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
But yeah, I guess it's because like their bread and butter, you know, is all the codexes and the books they're selling for the actual game and the miniatures and the paints and all the supplies. And if you make it easy for digital to get them all digital, it'll be really like streamlined and it'll be easier to play. And then people are just jump over the digital rather than the physical, you know, and then which
Hmm.
is a huge aspect of it.
I think there's a lot of
Yeah.
I think one of the things that interests me a lot in the terms of Warhammer is
Mm,
the fact that its fantasy is so new, or it's so different. A
mm.
lot of modern fantasy is Tolarian,
Oh yeah,
Tolkien, I guess is the phrase I want to
okay.
say.
Yeah, yeah. That like Lord of the Rings inspired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uh, you look at a lot of your fantasy elements. You're seeing tree people in the Ents. You're seeing
Mhm.
elves. You're seeing dwarves. You're seeing halflings, which are just obviously hobbits, but not hobbits
Yeah,
for legal reasons.
of course, yeah, legally distinct, yep, yep. Well,
So whenever people come up with new and interesting things, I always find that nice. I love originality of concepts and content.
yeah, give us a new world to explore, you know?
Yeah, and
Mm,
it's tough. I absolutely get the notion that it's tough to do something like that,
mhm,
but I also think that it's quite possible. You lose out on some sellability because it like elves just work.
mhm.
First off, everyone knows what an elf is, and if you're trying to recreate the elf, people are going to bitch about it because you're
No,
just
of
recreating an
course.
elf. Just use an elf at this point.
Yeah,
Dogs I
why
cannot
rename it when it's already perfect, you know?
exactly,
Uh, the whole idea of, reinventing the wheels, like, what's the point?
but
Uh,
with with fantasy, there's so much vintage stuff in it that it's getting stale,
mm,
in my opinion. I want to see new stuff. I want to see people create, develop, and go further.
no, of course, of course.
I think monsters are definitely like horror and monsters. You're definitely seeing some more original concepts
Mhm,
in the modern days. The I haven't watched a modern horror movie or a horror movie too recently, like
yeah.
a paranormal one, right?
Yeah, yeah, because everything as of right now is, like, found footage, shaky camera, VHS filters, this and that. It's like, it's not for me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kinda looking for the monster, the villain type of movie type of thing going on. I heard a lot of good things of Nosferatu, like the old school classic, vampire guy, the one for SpongeBob.
Yeah.
But,
Oh,
he
one
got
for
his own film.
SpongeBob.
Yeah. He got his own film and everything, so, I wanna go check it out. Well, one of these days.
I'm
Uh,
glad that the guy from SpongeBob got his own film.
I know, right?
It's really about time, honestly. It's been a couple
I know
years
for
or
real,
so.
dude. He's an
Oh, yeah.
icon. You think of SpongeBob, you think of a few people. You think of
Mhm.
Squidward, SpongeBob, Sandy, Mr. Krabs, Plankton, and Nosferatu.
Nosferatu, of course, of course. He was there from the beginning, you know?
uh
People just,
oh shoot, what's that company that's been remaking and doing a lot of the modern horror stuff? Uh
I'm not sure.
oh shoot, what's it called? I think they just did The Invisible Man, like in 2020.
Oh, let me see, let me look it up.
Uh did they do Us and Don't Breathe? Production
Visible,
company.
I wasn't even aware that Visible Man was released.
Bloomhouse.
Bloomhouse. Mm,
Bloomhouse has been doing a lot of horror movies.
hmm.
I think they're some major company. let's see. Bloomhouse Productions is a subsidiary of what? Its parent is Bloomhouse Holdings. Oh, maybe
They
it is
made
still
Five
free.
Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah, they're the ones who did FNAF. They did Megan.
That's funny. Oh, yeah, I heard Megan was pretty good as well, but it looks cheesy. I mean, I guess that's also part of horror, no? It's,
I think,
you
yeah,
you gotta get the cheese, and then you gotta make it good.
I think if they play into it well, then it
Hmm,
works. I didn't watch Megan. However, I know one of the big things was her dancing all the time. And I think that's one of the ones that makes it work. They're doing FNAF 2. They're doing a Wolfman movie.
nice.
And I think it's cool that they're doing so much. They dedicated themselves to horror and they're doing some interesting things with it.
Mhm. I gotta check out their movies then, what the I haven't really been keeping up with them.
Yeah.
Just hearing about a couple things here and there, you know, I mean, I heard about Megan, I heard about FNAF, but I didn't know they yeah, Wolfman's coming out or something, and then I didn't even know that they made a Invisible Man. Area 51, The Medieval The Awakening.
They
Oh, Black Klansman, I've heard of that movie,
I
but,
did hear about that
yeah,
movie. That
yeah,
was
it was
uh,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. Get Out, yeah, you're right, Get Out, I think you
What?
said Us as well, right?
Did you do
Uh,
Happy Death Day? I don't think they did.
oh. They made Whiplash. Oh, the Whiplash was such a
The
Oh my
crazy,
Whiplash?
crazy
gosh.
movie. Yeah, such a good movie.
For real, they made Whiplash? I
Yeah, they made
never
Whiplash.
knew. Wow. Dude,
Yeah,
J.K. Simmons is such a great actor.
insane, honestly. So, man,
Oh
He's
my
such an
man.
goodness.
iconic voice.
Such an iconic
Yeah.
voice and an iconic look. You see a bald man on TV, like a skinny bald man. He's like, it's either J.K. Simmons or you're saying that should have been J.K. Simmons.
Yeah, yeah.
He's Nolan? I never even knew.
Yeah, yeah, he's Omni-Man.
I look,
Yeah, the
I
voice, yeah.
knew, but I never put it two and two together. It's like
What will you have after 500
that
years?
sounds a lot like J.K. Simmons. That's neat.
Yeah. No.
Oh shoot! Like I knew he was like the green M&M or something. Not the green M&M. He was like the
What in the world?
he was an
Can you
M&M.
imagine? Was he? I
Uh,
know Billy West. He was the red one, and the green was the lady. Was he like the yellow one or something? I don't see him as the nervous, so the little orange one. But let me see.
let me see. I could have sworn he was an M&M.
Let's
Was it the
see.
yellow? J.K. Simmons has been the voice of the
Um,
yellow M&M since 1996, taking over from
was it?
John Goodman.
What? Okay, that I did not know. Whoa.
That's extreme range right there.
Yeah, seriously.
Whiplash screaming at this kid till he unalives himself.
Basically, you know, pushes themselves to the limits and then some.
He's Ford
Could he?
Pines in Gravity Falls.
He just hates kids, actually.
I think
Yeah, he was ripping on Peter Parker all these years, you know, that generationally from
Generation.
originally.
yeah.
No,
Think
because
about
does
it, man. Bro. Yeah,
yeah, doesn't his son also like become Venom or something like that in some interpretations?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure his son becomes a villain. Peter accidentally kills him, and that reinforces his hatred or whatnot.
yeah.
They do a lot of oh
Right.
shoot. Oh shoot. Oh my goodness. I did watch an interview with J.K. Simmons a little back about him talking about Whiplash,
Mhm.
and they're trying to introduce him to the concepts and get his like his ideas forward, right?
Hmm.
And it turns out he actually majored in college in like orchestra and music.
He knew his stuff when it came to music. Oh, nice.
Exactly. He's like, yeah, I actually did all this stuff, so I'm pretty good.
Yeah, it's kind of my thing, you know. The acting is just a side gig. Yeah,
For real. And it's a crazy how some of that stuff turns out. Like
it really is.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch the Minecraft movie. I'll probably get some friends and we'll go watch it live.
Hmm.
Just
I've already been summoned
yeah,
right this second.
just
I feel like
I'll get some
for
friends to
me,
come over.
I feel like for me, if I'm gonna go watch the Minecraft movie, I just gotta be like just blasted. You know, I just gotta
That's
go in
so
there.
you gotta
true.
go in having some fun.
Yeah,
Really
yeah.
have some fun. But
You got a pregame. You know, you got a pregame.
I think it'll be a good bad movie. I don't think it'll be a
Exactly.
good movie, but I think it'll be a good bad movie. I think I'll laugh about how bad it is, and there might be one or two things, kind of like Free Guy. There might be one or two things that I genuinely think is funny,
Yeah.
and then the rest of it's funny because it's kind of bad.
yeah. Don't touch
Exactly.
that sock, mom.
Don't touch it. That was so funny. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Oh, they get one F bomb and they waste it on the fish.
On the
Uh,
fish. Oh
That
man.
was pretty good
that
too,
was
though.
good. I think that what probably happened was what was it? Ryan Reynolds.
Hmm.
Ryan Reynolds agreed to do the movie before his full script was done, and then he got the script and was like, "This is not that great,"
Hmm.
and so he kind of made it work the best he could. Almost like a
Of
Jim
course.
Carrey issue.
Oh man, Jim Carrey's pretty cracked as well as an actor.
I look,
I do love Jim Carrey.
I
Mm-hmm.
my controversial movie take is that
Mm-hmm.
I can absolutely respect Jim Carrey as an actor. I think what he does excellent roles. He plays his roles extremely well, and no one could act like him in the way he does.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't like his movies. I
Ah.
I mean, what's
Uh,
his big one? Ace
like
Ventura.
Ace Ventura, The Mask,
Oh, I
and
love
then
Ace
I
Ventura.
don't care for Ace Ventura. I don't care for Dumb and Dumber. Uh
that's
I'm
one
not
I
a
haven't
fan of
seen
Dumb and
before.
Dumber.
I
Yeah.
haven't watched what's it called? The Truman Show. I think I
The
might like
Truman
Oh,
Show's good.
I think I'd
that
like the
was really
Truman
good.
Show because that's more of a serious role for him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Almost like
Oh,
Adam Sandler,
it,
like Spanglish or whatever.
Adam Sandler and or Uncut Gems. That oh man, that's peak right there. That's absolute peak.
do you
But if
see
you
that
want to,
they're making another? What's the one where he plays golf?
Uh,
Billy.
Billy Madison,
Yeah, they're making a new
oh,
one.
no,
are they
Happy
really?
Gilmore. Happy Gilmore.
Yeah,
What?
Happy Gilmore. They're making a new Happy Gilmore.
They,
Oh no.
yeah, I saw
Yeah.
they had
Yeah.
like Eminem come on set or whatever for some scenes,
Oh,
and
what the hell? No, oh no. I'm a big hater when they try to reboot or bring back old IPs and such like that. You know, it's like Happy Gilmore. When was the last time they released a movie as a
It was
Happy
the only one, and I think
Gilmore?
it was a '90s movie or early 2000s.
1996.
I
Yeah.
could
Perfect, a good film. You know, nothing to, needed to like add to it. 30
No,
years
he
later, you
wins. He
know.
wins the friggin' thing. What more do you need? That's the end of the. I
That's
hate things
exactly,
like that.
exactly. It's like
Like
Happy
the
Gilmore.
Megamind
dude,
show.
There was
I
a show. What
yeah,
the fuck?
Yeah, they did like a second, and then they did a show. It's literally just like reaching into the grave for money.
dude,
Oh man.
I saw so many people online say we need a Megamind movie sequel. We need a Megamind TV show, Megamind movie sequel. And I don't post online because if you ever want to experience a conversation with a lobotomite, go say
That's where to
opinion
do it.
online. You could
No, of
agree
course,
with them
of
and they'll hate with you. But
Oh man.
oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
it's
the
it's all bad out there.
Megamind is a good movie that didn't need any further development, so it doesn't need a sequel. Not everyone needs a sequel. Look at Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Oh god. I didn't even like the first one, to be honest. I didn't like Wreck-It Ralph at all.
Really?
Yeah, gotta get into I
That's
on the
fair.
3 separate occasions tried to watch it. 2 of them I slept through it, and then one of them I
Mm,
just like, what am I doing? And then I just like kinda just left. Uh,
I see that.
but then, man, Wreck-It Ralph 2 was just that was I heard they're trying to go make because like Wreck-It Ralph is like an arcade cabinet and like an arcade and all this and that, right?
Yeah.
They try to put him into the internet or
Yeah, they put them
something?
in the internet.
What?
Put Wreck-It Ralph on the internet.
Oh,
Ralph
man.
breaks the internet. That was
Uh,
for me, that was also a funny, stupid movie. I didn't like it,
mm,
but it was so bad that it was kind of good in its own right for like a one time deal,
A one and done.
one and
yeah.
done. I would never watch that again. But for the time that I did watch it, it was not that bad.
I don't drink. In my friend group, I don't drink because I like to play the role of DD more and whatnot.
Yeah,
Uh,
okay.
but definitely at some point in time, Wubsy, we're gonna have to get like you, Opsatife, and a couple of our friends, get you drunk, and throw on some like really bad movies and see your reactions.
That would be crazy. What do you call it? Little special for Sloppy World.
Yeah,
Sounds very fun.
I used to watch. I Mystery Science Theater 3000. I used to watch that a ton.
Oh,
I
I've
probably got
always heard
really into
about it,
that.
but I never checked it out.
It's this guy. So the story is this guy's on a spaceship, right?
Mm.
And he and his robot buddies just watch old movies that had their copyright run out,
Oh, nice.
and they make fun of it. So
It's just like talking over the movies and such. Not
yeah,
bad, not bad.
yeah, they just
Yeah.
have. It's like literally they have the movie. They have a little viewing chair, and you see the guy, and you see his robot pals, and it's just them making fun of the movie the entire time. Kind of like have you ever seen like some people uh fan dub scenes like the Sonic I'm gonna piss on the moon, whatever?
Yeah, yeah.
It's exactly that.
Cool.
And it's interesting show. It's definitely one that's you're able to put onto the background and not pay attention much to, as well
Mhm.
as get some sense of old school culture looking at
Mm.
these old movies.
Yeah.
So,
Not bad. Yeah. I gotta check it out then, yeah, for sure.
and then plus when we had we used a lot of Pluto,
Oh.
which was it's free TV.
Yeah, the streaming service. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. We used a lot of Pluto, so they had an entire channel dedicated to Mystery Science Theater 3000. Bless you.
Bless you.
Sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. Not bad, not bad.
But we definitely live in a very interesting age of whatever. I know we like to say that there's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world
Mhm.
and in the United States, and that stuff does happen.
Yeah, yeah.
But we're definitely in a much better position this day and age than we have been in the past.
And just throughout history, yeah.
I mean,
Crazy.
I'm not getting into a debate with the accessibility of medical care.
Mm.
However, arguably, it exists. There is
No, of
medical
course.
care.
Of
Dude,
course.
I was talking to some of my coworkers the other day. Uh, she brought up what we thought was the original purpose of the chainsaw, and it was to help.
Per
It was
yeah.
to help pregnant mothers during birth.
Yep. Crazy stuff if you really think about it, you know, like, what's the other thing too that doctors never used, anesthetics on babies because they didn't think babies can feel?
Exactly, it's crazy
Yeah, like,
stuff like that,
what the fuck?
dude.
Another thing too, like, they didn't think hand washing was necessary, so they would just, like, do one thing and jump over to the next person and then just
Yes,
mix some yeah, like,
and
what?
when and when a guy
Crazy.
called him out because he noticed that the midwives that were washing their hands
Uh,
uh had better success rates with like pregnant mothers giving birth, like living and whatnot. The
mhm.
doctors got mad and it's like, dude, you shut the fuck up. Shut the
Yeah, you don't know
fuck
what you're
up.
talking
We
about.
got a good thing going. We don't gotta wash our hands. Shut the fuck up.
Exactly, exactly.
And now we
Yeah.
do have these medical procedures and these accessibilities in medicines, and especially in terms of entertainment, we have so much entertainment that's available and means to get that entertainment. It's
Mm,
crazy.
honestly, yeah. You could, you could live a whole life and there'll still be so much that you haven't even touched or explored
Dude,
when it comes to entertainment.
a
Both,
hundred years.
physical and digital and movies and books and this and that, just there's so much out there. So much out there. Uh,
Man on the Moon, which I think was the first movie.
mhm.
Let me see when that came out.
Is it the one where they, like, shoot the moon's face in the eye or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I remember doing a little bit of a because stuff like that kind of interests me, like, old school practical effects. How did they do it? How did they make these things happen, because, like, they didn't have the technology as advanced as ours or CG and all this and that, so they
Hmm.
had to do, like, with props and actually go out of their way to, like, think of, like, how to do it, and then I seen a couple documentaries where they yeah, just turn the camera, use a mirror, or add paint underwater, like, a whole bunch of, like,
I
crazy
know.
creative things that they went through to actually, like, make things happen. It was, pretty insane, pretty intense.
And I feel like a lot of people are kind of almost tired of the movies we have these days
Yeah,
because they're coming mediocre in a sense. There's a lot of good content out there, and there's a lot of bad content, but there's also a lot of mediocre, middle of the road content that's needs to be
that does
considered.
yeah,
Because you see something that's like filled up with CGI, like
mm,
the Avatar movies, right?
oh, yeah,
That's essentially all CGI to an extent. However, they do so in such a well done way that James Cameron's able to keep your attention for that. But then you see a lot of more modern CGI that's kind of more middle of the road, and people get a bit tired of that and want some more practical stuff. I mean, look
yeah,
at the 70s. I think the 70s and the 80s, great
mhm.
era of filmmaking.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Because there wasn't the CGI like how they had it. If they wanted to use CGI, it was very sparingly because it didn't look good.
no, yeah, not at all. Like, you have, like, those, like, kinda like in low poly, really early computers and stuff like that. What's, like, a good example? Oh, man. Like, if you were going up against, like, this super villain virus or something, it'll be, like, this, like, crazy look like, almost like
Hmm.
a Reploid Genius looking thing.
Yeah, Rat Boy
Uh,
Genius. Yeah,
yeah.
dude, I watched a movie a while ago, like at least 5 years, called American Invasion or Invasion USA from Chuck Norris. It's a
Oh,
1985 film, and it's like a 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. Is it a great film? No, but
hmm,
is it kind of fun to watch? Yeah.
mhm.
Uh,
It's campy, the good
exactly.
old campy movies, yeah.
But there's a scene where there's like a huge car chase, and they're absolutely destroying a mall going through. Right? They run
Alright.
through the mall. Uh, that's actually done. They didn't have CGI to run through a mall. They said
Mm.
we're gonna close down this mall for the day. We're gonna run some vehicles through here, break up some of the shops, and we'll give you a pretty paycheck and get it fixed.
Holy shit.
And
It's actually pretty badass.
yeah,
Yeah.
uh, my dad told me that story because he lived near the mall that film was taking place in.
Nice.
He was like, yeah, no, that's what happened, and you don't see that as much because it
Hmm,
becomes cheaper and easier to do CGI, but also it just doesn't look right and doesn't feel right to an extent.
yeah. I remember on Twitter, they were kinda revealing, like, how they made the Ghostbuster movie,
Yeah.
and, like, the original one at least, they did it, like, actually, at the library, at the museum, like, that they were actually there filming it, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, this new one, it was all, like, blue screen, green screen type of thing, like, not even the people there were real, like the crowds and the people walking around. No,
Oh,
it was just like the way they got it was that they had like their interns and people working, they had them there kind of recording throughout the day and kind of like seeing how people act and how the cars are moving in the streets and stuff like that. I could probably find it, but it was pretty wild how they described it and showed it. They're like, oh yeah, man, let me see. Go Ghostbusters. Let me see. But a lot of people are kind of like talking so much crap on it.
yeah.
um,
Again, just movies are better to an extent, but they're also missing out on what made movies so enjoyable. Look at like
mm,
the Thing, the 1985 The Thing.
yeah.
And there was essentially no CGI. And you look at Alien, that's
Mm,
costumes, that's people doing puppetry and motions.
yeah.
R2D2, 1972, or whenever the original Star Wars came out, R2D2 and C3PO, those are guys in suits.
Yeah, there was a little guy in there. A whole bunch of crazy stuff going on. You know that they made it happen. They made it work. But
Yeah,
man, man, oh man, oh man.
it's just again, it's different.
Hmm.
And
That's what I always say too. Like when with the Happy Gilmore thing, like the original was back in the 1906. No, 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 what the fuck am I saying? 1996, and the new one's in 2025. 30 years has passed. But when it comes to like reboots and movies like that, it's like this movie is not for me. It's for a modern audience. It's for a different audience that did not grow up on it, did not know what it is, what it was all about. So like, man, it's crazy to see and crazy to think about, but I don't know.
no,
I,
that's
I- I'm just
yeah.
a- I'm just a hater when it comes to that type of stuff, I guess.
No, I feel that, but also like
Yeah.
a lot of these reboots are rebooted in a sense to appeal to nostalgia, and
A
so
crash grab, yeah, yeah,
they're you're right. They're
man.
gonna say we weren't targeting you. We're targeting a new audience, but they're also
Mm,
targeting you because they want you to go buy the tickets.
mm.
And there's some creative times in which CGI does help a lot, like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I know a lot of people don't really care for that movie per se.
Yeah,
Uh,
the
Tim
heard it
Burton
was
one.
like a musical. No, no, the original. Oh, okay, okay. Or
Uh,
not the original. Yeah, because there's what was it? It's Charlie and the Chocolate Factory and Willy Wonka. No, hold on. It
yeah, the
was
original was Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, which is the
mm,
Gene Richards.
James. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, yeah. Let's see. Charlie Chocolate
No, no, it's Willy Wonka in the original.
Willy Wonka. Let's see. Willy Wonka
It's a film
Chocolate
by Mel Stewart, featuring Gene Wilder.
Gene Wilder. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
And the 20 whatever, Tim Burton,
Hmm.
Johnny
That's the
Depp,
one.
uh,
Yeah.
is Charlie in the Chocolate Factory.
Mhm.
And the Oompa Loompas, they had a lot more like choreography,
Hmm.
in their scenes, and they needed a lot of them. So they took, if I'm correct in remembering this, they took the single guy who was the inspiration for the Oompa Loompa and kind of just like
Mhm.
copied and pasted him.
They put them in. They copied them, downloaded them, and just put them everywhere.
Exactly.
That's funny.
But I also thought that it was. And granted, I grew up. I grew up with Charlie and the Chocolate Factory rather than Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. But I also
Same.
thought that the way the Oompa Loompas were done in that sense made more sense.
Mm,
You look at Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. There's, I don't know, maybe 10 on screen at a time.
mhm,
With or Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, you got like 10 on a screen at a time because you got to get all those actors. Uh,
mm.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, you could have as many as you want to make it feel more alive.
Yeah,
So, and
man. It's crazy how they're absolutely 2 different movies, you know? Of course, you're going through the whole Chocolate Factory, but all the different actors kind of just like bring their own thing to it, and it's really,
Hmm.
really. It is interesting to see their own take on it, but at the same time, it's man.
I felt that I felt that I like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory a bit better to Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory for the
Hmm.
general weirdness and eccentricness of the characters.
Yeah, yeah.
In the original, everyone feels natural, and you could arguably see them in real life. And
Mhm.
everyone in this is seeable in real life as well, but they're hyper accentuated. You could see more that these guys are characters.
Yeah, she's over the little gumball, like the gum chewing champion, right?
Veruca
The little
Salt, yeah.
blondie. Yeah. So over the top, like, what is that ever a thing, But it's it's played up to the to 11, she's an actual character within the movie rather than just another kid, So,
Yeah.
it's like how you're kinda describing it, like, the original had, like, actual kids you could probably, like, come across on the streets or something, and then the Willy Wonka no,
Hmm.
well, yeah. Yeah, Willy Wonka was the kids on the streets, and then the Charlie and Chocolate Factory was, like, a little more, over the top, more actual characters and such.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
The I I did think that I sometimes updating a character could be definitely an interesting situation,
Yeah.
where it doesn't need to occur. However, I think that it can occur right in certain situations. Like Mike TV, he went from a
Mm,
kid who was constantly watching TV to being this kid that's constantly playing video games. And that's a good way to represent uh the change in character and development over the times.
mm.
Like I remember watching a
Oh, no, with the new Chucky movie, I mean, he was like a haunted doll and all this and that, right?
yeah,
But nowadays, he's like AI, he, like, uses the iPads and, like, he takes over the house because it's a smart house and everything's connected to the Wi-Fi.
I think
It's
that's an
the
interesting spin.
modernization. Yeah,
As
yeah.
long as you have the core concept. Mike
Mm.
TV is supposed to be a little bastard, and he is in both cases. They just changed his like little medium. Chucky is
Yeah,
supposed to be a little bastard, and he
yeah,
is. He's got some more powers, but that's because his origin story was kind of developed on more. Uh,
yeah, yeah.
and that's a good kind of character change. It doesn't change the character, it just updates them in a
It
practical
brings them
sense.
yeah, it brings them to the modern world, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The oh shoot, what was it? I just had an example in my mind for a character like that.
Mm,
Like where it was not great. Oh, you know what it was? It also occurs in translation. It was a Studio
translation.
Ghibli film, and I think it was Princess Mononoke, but I remember watching a scene uh or someone talking about how originally in Japanese there's this is like poor big or whatever bastard. He's
Mhm,
insulting someone's soup by saying it tastes like water.
okay.
And that's a pretty devious insult in Japanese culture apparently.
Oh, okay.
However, when they updated it or translated it for western releases, they make him say it tastes like donkey piss
That
because that's the equivalent translation, and I think that's good.
yeah, it's, how would you say this? No, it's, localization, there you go.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh
They localized it to make it sound the same, but it sounds over the top, like, "Oh, this tastes like water," like, they watered it down just to, like, have more broth, I suppose, but then you have the equivalents over to the West, it's like, "Yeah, it's donkey piss," It's like, actually bad,
I know there
that's
were
so
people that
funny.
were vividly pissed off in the Nagatoro anime adaptation
Uh-huh. Oh,
because
well, for her using slang.
for using slang like sus. But as someone who was reading Nagatoro since like
Uh,
chapter 7, it
uh-huh.
makes sense for her to use that slang like sus.
Yeah, she's like a high school
She's
kid,
a
she's like a
high
little
school
gal.
kid, yes.
Yeah.
And she's supposed to be like a little bit of an annoying brat.
Yeah, little shithead.
Exactly. So it makes sense. That's
Yeah.
like the slang didn't exist at the time, so she didn't use it. But arguably,
Mhm.
you can make the excuse or comparison, that she was probably using other forms of slang. And
Of course.
in the modern era, this is what the slang would be equivalent to. I say modern era like it wasn't a 2-year gap.
Right. Uh, that's funny though, freaking I remember seeing and hearing, like, everyone just, like, being like, "Sus? You said sus? That makes no sense. Why are you guys doing this and that?" I was like, Because that's just how it is, you know? Like,
As
it's a good way of localizing it, so oh,
um,
man, that's funny.
yeah, I mean,
I
just
completely forgot about that too. Okay, thank you for bringing it up. Yeah.
there's just as I like to say, if the internet will bring out the worst in everyone
Hmm,
because they will accentuate a person's opinions, they will amplify a person's feelings of hatred, and they'll make people feel like their opinions are always validatable.
yeah.
Uh, go ahead, have your opinions, have your stuff. Just know that not everyone's going to agree with you in the same manner, and that's something you got to accept. That's something you got to be ready for.
No,
Yes.
dude, you have to go on a complete crusades, and you gotta make your point to come across and have burn all the other people. All the other people are like against you and all this and that. You know.
Mhm. Like Chevy was
Oh
just
man.
sharing some stuff about how some guys got into like huge, some internet losers got into huge debates because like a VTuber blocked them.
Oh yeah, yeah. I saw that.
I didn't read the full
the,
stuff, but it's like, guys,
uh,
it's a
the girl,
VTuber.
the girl had a male collab. Holy shit! And then it's just like,
Oh,
yeah,
now
man.
she's
It's
mine. I've
like
donated $10,000. She shall be mine.
exactly, exactly. It's crazy stuff, you know. But man, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's VTubing is going all over the place as of these days. Who knows what the fuck is going on?
Yeah,
So
I think that's the
uh,
thing that's gonna keep the life interesting going forward is we don't know what's going on. We don't know what's the future going to entail. We've got no clue, no way to guess it, and so we're just gonna be here for the ride.
yeah.
I think once you get that mentality down, you'll be in a happier mindset.
Hmm.
So I'm looking at the time. I think it's about time we wrap it up, finish some stuff up. You got anything else you want to say, Mokuba?
Mm, not nothing off the top of my head, but thank you for having us. You know, thank you.
Yeah, Wubsy, anything you want to say?
No. But I think we're all good.
All
Cool, cool,
right.
cool. Hmm.
Well, I thank everyone for coming in and listening today as we have uh it's great to see you here at Sloppy World. I hope you've enjoyed your stay and you're considering coming back for another vacation very soon. Bye-bye.